Good morning. Yeah, cleaned up a little bit. Trimmed it all up, cleaned up. Nose hairs, ear hairs. Yeah, for all you that are watching my physical appearance so close, they say, "That trim out that beard, you're getting a little too damn scruffy." Well, the grizzly bear is here. And he's saying good morning. And if any of you want snuggles and hugs, just come right on over, because I'm willing to snuggle up and hug up, if you know what I mean. Anyway, lemon law of the world, man. People say some of the most ridiculous things on this channel sometimes. They'll say stuff like, lemon law it. Just put lemon law it. Lemon law it. They don't even know what lemon law is. They heard somebody mention lemon law or something on the news one time, or a friend that, you know, did some kind of arbitration or buyback with the Better Business Bureau. There are many venues to get something bought back and taken care of. This morning, I'm not going to mention specific names, but if you go to the video I made last night where I was talking about this really tough situation with Ford and a customer, you know, putting so much money and stuff into a vehicle that's 20 years old, having to go through 2 Reman OE alternators, which, if most of you don't know, almost all of your OE parts, all of the parts that are on a vehicle are actually, almost all of them are outsourced from aftermarket companies building these things to spec for the manufacturer. So to think that this is a Motorcraft built transmission or this is a Motorcraft built, no, it doesn't work that way. There's a concept that's thought up, then it's put to paper, and then an engineering team gets together, they develop and design something, and then they say, okay, let's make it. And then they outsource the stuff to have it made to a specific spec. They don't actually make it themselves. So if you didn't know, now you know. Sorry. Anyway, moving forward, you know, people use this lemon law term so loosely, and they don't even understand what it means. In a nutshell, you got to bring the vehicle back so many times, documented for the same reason, while the vehicle is under warranty. It has to be something that can be traded, fixed, or sold back to the manufacturer within a decent mileage. If you've been driving the vehicle for 3 years and you've put 60,000 miles on it, and all of a sudden you think that you're going to get this vehicle bought back, no, it ain't happening. Unless it's a major defect. Like something that was clearly, but, you know, like my 2016 Malibu. First it had the headliner leak. And then it had the shifter relay issue that nobody knew about that was causing a transmission service light or something to pop. No, the shifter assembly had to be replaced. Then the cigarette lighter or the accessory port relay was faulty, and it had a new updated engineering something part number in the computer that it was so new nobody knew about. It was the first body style. And then the engine's making a noise, and then this has happened, and then the trunk's doing this, and then it's like going back to the Chevy dealer over and over and over and over again for the same thing, but, or for different things, but not the same thing. You can't lemon law something like that. You can have a slew of problems, but you got to give them a chance to fix it. Now, if I'd have drove that vehicle for a couple years and put, you know, 30,000 miles on it, you ain't lemon lawing that. First of all, the vehicle's been driven for several years, and if it's not, if you don't give them enough times to fix a certain issue, then you can't lemon law something. You can't arbitrate it. You know, I had a customer come out with a 21 Expedition, $100,000 vehicle, or close to it anyway, probably 90. And she had a laundry list of things that was wrong with it. And she went through the Better Business Bureau to do like some kind of arbitration process or something like that. Well, Ford sent out an engineer to work with me on the vehicle. And we had to go line by line by line by line by line to verify the woman's concern. And we were able to fix 10 out of the 12 concerns right then and there. The reason was she came in complaining about 1 or 2 things, went to a couple different dealers, ended up at our dealership, told us about only 1 thing she was concerned about, And then when she contacted the Better Business Bureau, had a dozen things that she was concerned about that she never spoke anything to us about. Buyer's remorse. Fixed 10 of the 12 things, and the other 2 we had to wait on parts, and when they came in and ended up fixing them too, guess what? Didn't get arbitrated, or didn't get bought back. Buyer's remorse. Now, if you go back to, let's say, the dealer 3 times, and it's documented the same exact way all 3 times, and they fail all 3 times, now you're talking serious stuff with buybacks and stuff like that. I know a guy right now that he's on TikTok. He's got his own business. He's got like a dozen Fords, and he just got a recent tremor, and he keeps getting water in the driver. It's either the driver floor, I think, and the shop has tried to fix it 3 times. The dealership has had to try to fix it 3 times, cannot fix it, and then they sent an engineer out to work with the dealership, and they said they fixed it. Well, now there's water in the floor again. Now he has contacted their buyback team and everything else, and they're all communicating, and they're actually going through the process of a possible buyback now because they can't seem to fix this water leak, and it keeps getting water in the floor, and it's well documented. Now, something like that, it's a buyback. But when it's like this person said, lemon law, this vehicle's from 2003. This vehicle's from 2003. It don't matter if you put 20 alternators on this thing and the customer puts $6,000 worth of labor into this. There ain't no buyback. It's not under powertrain warranty anymore. If a vehicle's not under powertrain warranty anymore let's just put it in layman terms. If you haven't given the shop a chance to fix it at least 3 times, documented for the same thing, and the vehicle's still not under powertrain warranty, you ain't getting a lemon law. You ain't getting a buyback. It's just not going to happen. 99.9% of the places that you're going to go to try to get anything done, they're going to laugh at you. I had a situation where a customer's vehicle would die 1 time every 6 to 7 weeks, leaving the same spot at the same stop sign, pulling out onto their main road, leaving their little subdivision where they live. And what's one of the number 1 things people are saying? Buyback, lemon law, lemon law, lemon law, lemon law, buyback. No. The vehicle has like 72,000 miles on it. It's like 5 years old now. There is no buyback. There is no lemon law. What makes you think you have the power to snap your finger or point and say, you're going to buy it, you're going to lemon law this, you're going to buy this? It doesn't work that way. You've had this vehicle for 5 years and put 72,000 miles on it, and now it's just starting to do it, and nobody can figure it out. But you also can't duplicate the concern. If you can't show me the concern in a reasonable, timely manner without wasting a lot of my time, it needs to be in a decent amount of time. You can't grab me, take me out in the vehicle, and drive for hours and so it's eventually going to happen. Well, I mean, in some situations, maybe that is the case. But when it doesn't happen but once every 6 or 7 weeks in the same conditions under the same... No. That is not lemon law. That is not buyback. There could be some kind of overhead cables, in-ground cables. It'd be something weird about what you're doing. It could be some weird situation that's causing this to happen and not even the vehicle. That's not buy... I don't know why people think you can just... Oh, but it's a lemon law, buyback. Not a vehicle 5 years old with 72,000 miles. Not happening. It's not going to happen. I mean, for the most part. I'm sure some of you are going to go in the comment section and say, well, in my state, you know what I mean. You know what I mean by this whole entire video. So don't dramatize it. Don't take it out of context. You get my point here. A lot of people think they have much more power than what they do, and they really don't. Make it make sense. Buyback is a lemon law, and buyback is not that easy. It's a very timely process, a very strenuous process, and just for instance, like the lady with the 21 Expedition, she had to keep it. There was no reason for a lemon law or buyback. It was simply buyer's remorse. It's a big payment on a vehicle that you have to take care of that you may not be used to, but now you're stuck with it. You're not getting out of it. Unfortunately, it is what it is. There's a difference between having something happen over and over and over again, like the guy with the tremor that does deserve a buyback, where they cannot figure out the water leak, what's causing it to get in his vehicle. Now he's got mold on the carpet versus this vehicle that this would happen every 6 or 7 weeks and you can't duplicate it when it's at the dealer. And I would take the vehicle and drive it on the weekends for 2 or 3 days trying to get something to happen, but nothing would happen. You can't lemon law or buy back something like that if you cannot prove that there's a problem. And a flight recorder is not always available on every single vehicle. You know, our shop, I've never even seen a flight recorder come out at our shop. You know, maybe that's something that we should invest in, but some shops don't have that stuff. Unfortunately, it just doesn't happen that way. I don't know what to tell you, but lemon law and buyback is not always an option. And most of the time, it's not an option. And most of the time, when you think you're eligible for it, you're not. So make sure that you understand your state laws, understand what your limitations are, and actually understand what a lemon law, buyback, or business arbitration, or Better Business Bureau arbitration is before you get involved in something and start spewing all over the internet. Why don't you just lemon law it? You can't just lemon law it. It's not like you can just snap your fingers and all of a sudden a lemon law is underway. You have to fill out paperwork. You have to sit down with a lawyer. Somebody's got to take the case. Blah, 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 blah. You got to have an agreement with the manufacturer. They have to agree to do this. They have to start the paperwork. It's not just lemon law it or just arbitrate it. It's very strenuous. And you guys know what I'm talking about. So don't drag out the video, because those of you that are like, well, my state, this and that, and try to justify, I don't care about what your state is doing. The general idea and consensus about what I'm talking about is what I'm talking about. I'm not solely individually interested in what your experience is with your state and what your law is. Don't fill the comment section up full of that stuff, because it's really not important. What's important is the fact that you go look up and learn your state to get to the bottom of these things and understand that a lemon law and arbitration is not as easy as you think it is, and certain criteria has to be met. As I said, don't dramatize the video, don't stretch it out and try to, stop. The principle behind what I'm speaking of is what I'm trying to get across to you guys. Do your homework, do your research. It's not as easy as you think. And, yeah, that leaves you a more educated, complete, I guess you could say you'd have more information about the type of situation, especially if you're going through something where you're thinking lemon law or buyback would be your route. Make sure you know your rights, make sure you know the law, and make sure you know the process before you even get involved. Make sure you got all your T's crossed and your I's dotted before you even go that route. It's not that easy. Y'all be blessed. Have a great day. Talk to you.